So Mitch has jet lag.
Full-blown jet lag.
It's a miracle you're awake.
Yeah, it's...
Where were you and when did you get back?
I got back last night, so I think currently it is... What time is it right now? It's like 3:30?
We're recording
4.
on a Wednesday afternoon, which we've never done before.
So it's 2 a.m. my time? Or
Oh, shit.
something like that?
So this is perfect practice for you for when we actually do our overnight marathon.
Yeah, this is good.
So we're going to know actually in this episode, depending on how good you are, how good our late night episodes are going to be when we do them.
It's a 50-50 shot. I mean, sometimes I can like find that energy patch is just sort of sitting underneath, and I can pull on it, and I can be pretty energetic and good to go. But then other times I could just fall into a well and I'm done.
What do you mean our late night episodes?
Meaning when we do an overnight, we've told people about this.
We're definitely doing that?
Yes.
Oh.
Where we
Oh,
get together
we're doing
and we do. Aren't we doing
Aren't we
it?
going to Big Bear?
Oh.
I don't.
Oh, did we can Big Bear?
Well, we haven't booked a place.
I don't know that we have. It doesn't matter where we are, but we are very seriously considering recording an episode every hour on the hour from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. on some particular evening.
Is that this season?
No, it'll be next season.
That'll be
Next
next season.
season.
That feels like a next season thing.
Okay,
Next season.
Okay.
We'll tease next episode how this whole season's going to end. But tell us where you went and what was the highlight.
I was in London, and then we went to Paris. We were in London for about 6 days, and London for about 6 days, and then we went to Paris for about 4 days. A lot of tours of historical monuments and landmarks, and we did go to Wembley and see Taylor Swift, which was phenomenal. We then took a train up to Manchester and saw Pearl Jam, which was a little crazy because we're huge Pearl Jam fans. Second song in, he's singing, and I said to Kristen, I said, he doesn't sound good. Like, something's up. And he, after the second song, he basically told the story about how he ran the fan line in Dublin, and someone shook his hand and got him sick.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
And his voice was basically gone, and he canceled every show from Manchester and Europe after that. So we saw him on the last night, and then that was it. So I don't know when they're coming back on.
Why'd you get him sick when you shook his hand?
I didn't do it.
Who opened for them?
Was it Coldplay?
No, it wasn't Coldplay.
That would have been weird.
But you know what? It was a local Manchester band. I don't know who they were.
And only one opener.
Oasis?
It wasn't Oasis. But
Toad the Wet Sprocket?
No, it was like.
I know Toad the Wet Sprocket.
Are they from Manchester?
You don't know Toad the Wet Sprocket?
I know Toad the Wet Sprocket. Are they from Manchester?
I have no idea.
I don't think so.
I think Oasis is actually from
Yes,
Manchester.
that's why I said Oasis.
Yeah. But
Ben would never utter a band and cite their hometown if he didn't know it.
It's true. It was but it was a great venue. It was the first time Macy had ever seen Pearl Jam live. Owen had saw them at the Forum and has quickly become a fan, which is nice. But it was fun. So phenomenal trip. Great time. I mean, it was great. Paris was amazing. A lot of statues.
Wherever you go, there's a statue.
Did you come back with lots of pictures of statues?
You know what? I sort of gave up like day 2. I was like, you know what?
What?
I'm done. No more pictures. Okay.
I mean, what is for you? Like when you go on a trip, what are you bringing back? What is like a? For some people, it's pictures. For some people, it's little ticky-tack souvenirs. Some people, it's food.
Fridge magnets.
What?
You know what? I'm going to say this. We actually had this conversation when we were out there because Kristen was like, "Do you want to get a souvenir for Owen? Do you want to get a souvenir for your girlfriend, for Addie? You know, Macy, do you want to buy a purse in Paris and bring it home? Whatever," which she actually did do. But I don't care about any of that stuff. Like, I just don't. I don't like tchotchkes. I don't like shit. I don't like to carry stuff. I just like, and I don't like taking pictures because I'm never going to look at them. I know that's crazy. I know that's different, but I don't know. I just sort of walked around and did my thing. I don't know.
So is there any evidence if you had to prove that you were there?
Well, people took pictures of me. Yeah.
Okay, well, that'll prove it.
Oh, so
Yeah.
someone
That could be
else has
photoshopped.
proof.
Yeah.
Someone else has proof.
Yeah.
We do that, though. We buy things that are sort of like a specific like memento from a family trip. Like when we've gone to various places in Europe, we try to get something that you can only get there.
Yeah.
Mm.
Even if it is
Yeah.
a little touristy. Excuse me, but it's something like, you know, a piece of art we can hang on the wall, like an artistic map of the place, or
Are you saying artisanal map?
you could say artisanal, yes.
What's artisanal versus?
But I mean artistic.
Artistic.
I said artistic.
Cheese board.
Isn't artisanal food and artistic is?
I did say artistic, but you said artisanal. But I'm willing to go with either one because an artisan makes both of those things.
But wait, if
Cartographers are artisans.
If I say I bought an artisanal map, what would that be?
It's a uniquely designed map that's not sort of mass produced by, you know.
I don't know.
By
if
like a
that's
map,
true.
by like a Rand McNally map is not artisanal. I don't think.
I think it would have to be an edible map.
Listen, on my best day, I'm not following it, right? So I can promise you I'm not following this right
Artisanal
now.
is food related, I think.
I don't. Is it? I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. But no,
It-
because
it-
artisanal means an artisan made it, and artisans are those who do craft of some sort.
I'm not sure about that.
I don't know about that.
I think if
Jesus
like someone
Christ.
made a map out of a charcuterie tray, that would be an artisanal map.
Is it cake or is it a map?
Well, that's a good point.
All right.
So you get art. We do art too. Like we'll
Yeah.
get little kind of things that we can carry home. We once went to Italy a long time ago, and we sent back all sorts of dishes and things. And when they came back, they were all broken.
Are you
Why
serious?
would you do dishes?
Because I don't know. Jen wanted to buy a whole bunch of like special dishes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I get it.
But I get it. By the way, it's just I don't do it, but I totally get it though. Like the kids they got a lot of stuff over there, so it was fun for them.
Yeah.
Well, while you were gone, I finished my second week of that green stuff.
And how you feeling?
I actually feel different.
You do, right?
I do. I feel. Are the black? Do you get
wait.
blackouts? By the way,
Wait,
What?
hold on. Wait, hold on. Two things, real quick. Are we not
That's-
saying? Are we just
you
not
can
going to say
you
it?
can say it. It's fine.
I mean, we've talked about it before. We've said it before.
Athletic green, or is it artisanal greens?
It's artisanal greens
See?
Artisanal greens.
Made by artisans of
Made-
sport.
with pure brie. It's athletic greens. It works though, right?
The thing I've noticed is I'm a little less tired.
Yep.
I'm completing the Wordle faster
That's your barometer.
and
is
in
word.
less. I can't speak and use the English language right
Yeah, I
now.
don't use the anglage either.
But no, I'm less tired, and I don't mind the taste anymore. The taste. Are you kissing your hand? What's? Oh,
Try
no.
not to cough in the mic.
Oh. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm like 2 weeks in.
I don't know if it's my head playing tricks on me, but I do feel better in the morning. I do.
And isn't it interesting that the minute I started using it, now I see the commercials on television all day long.
I know. Everywhere.
It's wired to your brain.
It's like Minority Report. They're targeting
It is.
me with the
Targeted
commercial.
But
I already buy it. Why do they need me to have me see it?
They got a new CEO like 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and they went on a full-blown blitz, like in terms of their marketing and campaign. I mean, they're everywhere. It's crazy.
They didn't reach everyone.
Listen, you just chose not to see it.
I guess so.
And is your free packet still in your bag?
Yeah.
Ben?
Just do it, dude. What is
Listen,
wrong?
let's do this right now. Ben, you have
Yes,
water.
here it is.
Oh,
No, I'm
Ben, you have
drinking that
water.
water. I don't want to put this in it.
Put it
I'll
in the
get to-
water.
I'm not putting that in the water.
I'll give you $30. I'll give you $30 bucks.
$30.
30 bucks.
Magic number.
Will you split it with me, Mitch?
100%.
Okay, $30. Put it in the water that's remaining
It sounds
and drink
horrible. It's greens.
it. Are you going to do it?
No, you need more water than that.
Oh, then I'm not doing it.
What?
No, next time.
What do
Save
you
your
mean?
money.
What's the problem? Just fill it with
No,
more
no,
water.
I don't want
Make
more
it-
water. I'm fine.
Oh my god.
I'm not doing it.
Ben is.
I'm not
he's
joining the cult.
He's a little. He doesn't like to be very flexible. I've noticed that about Ben.
What?
He's like, yeah.
I like to think I'm very flexible.
All right.
I don't know.
It depends on the thing.
So while Mitch was gone, Ben, what was anything interesting in your world?
Did you guys miss me?
Of
Yes.
course.
Oh, okay,
Absolutely.
The text
How
chain
could we
was
not?
the text
I'm-
chain. What are we texting about?
We're
Was
like-
awfully dead.
And we're like, well, you know what? We're texting at a time. Mitch might actually be asleep
I
right
was.
now.
Yeah, I was sleeping.
I actually was texting with Ben, podcast business on a separate chain, just because you were gone and
Yeah.
didn't want it to be popping
I
up.
appreciate that.
Just to
Yeah.
keep you out of the loop.
Yeah.
Get ready for your surprise.
Oh,
And Ben, you've been making more music
I have. I'm close to. I'm in the last song of 10 of my.
of your second album.
Yes, this is actually a first full album. I would argue the first one, technically, I guess, coming in at 27 minutes is an EP, but this one is a full 45 minutes of original instrumental music, which was a real challenge, and a couple of songs were harder than others, but I'm looking forward to wrapping it up.
That's impressive.
Listen, I'm not one to get itchy about the song, but it feels like we're probably close, right?
Yeah, well, now that we're talking
was
about
just
music, it does feel.
I was
like
just
it
going to
is-
say
yeah.
the same thing. Let's let it play.
Well, that was delightful.
All right. It was a wonderful break.
That was good.
we were able to get up, fill up Ben's thing with water so he can put that powder in.
I won't do it.
He's not going to do it. I was driving home from somewhere today with one of my daughters, and I had the Athletic Greens container because I drank it on the road this morning.
Yeah.
And there was like a tiny little bit. It's like somebody had like this, like a tiny little bit at the bottom. And I said to her, will you drink that for $10? And she was like, I'll do it for 20. And I was like, you won't do it for 10? She's like, I have some self-respect. I'm like, but at 20 is okay.
At least there's a dollar amount attached.
There was a
She
dollar
should have
amount.
held out for 30.
She should have. Well, I didn't make her drink it. It wasn't worth it for me to spend $20 to have her drink what was left.
By the way, I did it when I was over there in Europe. I did.
You took the little packets?
I did, yeah.
Is it something different in France?
No. It was
How do
good,
you
though.
say it in France? In French? Can you speak French? Were
No,
you speaking
Owen
French?
can.
Velt athletic.
I mean, maybe. Owen's got it.
Comment allez-vous, Athletic Greens? That means how are you, Athletic Greens?
Macy was the president of the French club, and but did not really work over there.
When I was there, I know a few phrases, but when I was there, I was able to like ask for water and thank you, merci, comment allez-vous, how are you, qu'est-ce que c'est, what is that?
Well, the kids could decipher. They could sort
Yeah.
of like they could hear a sentence and be like, I think what they're saying is this. They could figure it out. Like whereas I was lost. Kristen was lost.
Interesting.
So
All right, where's the bowl? Who's doing it this week?
I think it's Ben.
Oh, that's exciting.
Dun, 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 dun,
All
dun.
right, this can't go well.
That is a big bowl of...
I'm just gonna say this. I always
Bits of
say it. I
ideas.
think we get too many ideas in there. I think we have just too many
we're
ideas.
good.
No, it's time for a speed
Did you
round.
put 3 today?
Maybe the speed round is the way we end.
No.
No. Okay. All right.
Speed round will have
One
to be...
per season.
I think these ideas will be good for our overnight 12 episode
Oh,
run.
okay. Yeah.
that we
You know
do.
what? You're right. You're right.
Okay. Here
All
we
right,
go.
here we go. Did we hear the movement of the clues?
You heard as much as I was going to do it.
Okay, all right. I'm on the edge of my chair.
This feels. Oh wait, there's.
Oh, there
Okay.
were 2.
Is that enough noise for you guys?
It's okay.
All right.
Well,
Well,
that's all right.
You're not a great Foley artist, but
well, I never said I was.
if
Here
you
we
make
go.
the sound with your mouth, that's pretty good.
Oh, okay. This by the handwriting, I can't tell, but I'm gonna say it's a good one. Most stubborn moment in life.
Oh,
That feels like a Mitch.
That's a Paul. That's
is
not
it? Let me see if it's my
That's
right
gotta be
eye.
Paul.
Most stubborn. Yes.
Oh, okay. That's
yes.
Paul. Nice,
yes.
good one.
That
I
was
like
a
it.
somewhat normal one this week.
Yes.
That's good.
Most stubborn moment in life. I will tell you my most stubborn moment. I'm a pretty stubborn person. If Jen is listening to this, what's that? Yeah,
Correct
yeah.
number.
We're on 124. 124 episodes. It's the 24th anniversary, guys. Congratulations. So I can't if you set up a bedroom and the furniture and everything in a certain way in my bedroom, I don't want to change it. I know, Ben, you live in a household where you are married to somebody who loves to constantly refresh
Sure.
what's around you.
Sure. I'm down for that.
Jen is the same way. But there was a point during the pandemic where in our master bedroom, the bed was facing a certain way. There was just a setup. I did not want to change. I did not want to move the bed. She wanted to move the bed. The bed was on one side in between 2 windows. It wasn't supposed to be there, apparently. She wanted to move a different way. But the problem was then my side of the bed was going to be looking out the door of the bedroom, which A, I didn't like, and B, where the bed was before, I could sit on it and look across the room at the TV on the wall, but now the bed was going to be alongside the wall where the TV was, so for me to watch the TV, I was going to have to go sit on a couch at the other side of the place, of the room, and so for the longest time, I was like, I don't want to move stuff.
Okay.
That watching on the couch is a non-starter.
It was just too far. And then the way the speakers were in the ceiling, like the surround sound was going to be off because they were in different places. Nobody seemed to care about that. But then like my children secretly got into the discussion of how ridiculous I was being. It was like, come on, like just let her move the stuff. You know, why do you care? And I was like, I don't want to look out the door when I'm sleeping in bed. Even if it's closed, I'm the guy who's looking straight out the door when I look up. And then the TV situation was bad. So I was so stubborn. I refused to let it happen until ultimately everybody, including my dog, had decided that I was in the minority and I should let it happen. But I'll tell you, I mean, I was very cognizant of the fact that when it was all happening and everything was being moved, nobody was even asking me to do anything because they didn't want to ask me to lift a finger because I was so annoyed that it was being moved.
I get that. I think the placement of a bed in a bedroom is actually super important. I think for a little bit of that feng shui thing, and I think also, I mean, just having a direct sort of eye line to the TV.
Yeah.
I totally get that. Here's a question. You said this, and I have a sense that you get ganged up a lot on in your house.
Well, I live in a house the dog doesn't talk, so the three ladies of the house, it's that thing where now it's like, oh, come on, you're being ridiculous. Like, that's like from a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're not my mother.
Yeah.
Like, you can't tell me how to be a certain way.
Well, I was trying to get to, like, do your kids, and Ben, this is for you too, do Daniel and Sophia side with Tracy more than they side with you?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I do get mocked collectively.
I get mocked, yeah.
But that's okay. I enjoy that. It's good natured.
Yeah.
But you guys at least have a guy,
yes,
boy
yeah.
in the equation.
Sure.
But I think my boy is smart enough to know side with his mom always. It's a safer play.
Yes.
So I think that by the way, Kristen would say that's bullshit. Kristen would say that they side with me. I don't think they do. They side with her.
Daniel will shift alliances depending on the way the wind's blowing for him. So I like to think that we have a fairly balanced version of the you can trust they're your allies and your enemies at the same time.
Yeah.
When it comes to the way that things are set up in our house, like even to this point, like my older daughter will every day. It's like, what are you doing with this Lego? I'm like, I'm still putting it together. Can you move this thing? Like I have like 3 women in the house that constantly like like a piece of mail will come in and it's literally just on like my college magazine. It'll land there like 2:00 today. And then at like 7, one of them's like, what are you doing with it? Can I throw this out?
Yeah.
No, you can't throw it out. It just came. Are you going to put it somewhere? Like I get that all the time.
Oh
and I'm like,
God.
or like my children now
Do
to
you read
be.
those magazines?
I will.
You will? Really?
Maybe.
It's more.
It's
the,
my-
it's
it's
more
my
the point.
magazine.
It's his magazine,
Okay.
right?
But I
get that.
can't even stand like now it's like, did you eat this stuff? Who finished this? Like I've got people under the age of 18 who are like, did you finish those chips? I fucking bought those chips. Yes, I finished them. Well, I mean, it's like I have 3 people doing this to me now. But anyways, that's in the last 5 years, my most stubborn moment. I was literally like an adolescent child, arms crossed. I did not want to have anything to do with moving shit around in that bedroom, but eventually moved. Do I like it? I still don't actually think it works. I can't sit on the bed and fall asleep and watch.
Oh, it's still there?
Yeah, I can't sit on the bed and watch TV. It's at a strange angle. If I'm sitting at the couch on the other side of the room, it's too far. Every time the door opens, there's a direct eye line to me. It's also the direct eye line to the laundry room. So if somebody's shoe is like bouncing around at 2 a.m,
Wait, hold on. Why is the shoe bouncing around?
people are washing shoes or those.
Who's
like,
washing shoes?
People wash shoes.
I
They
love
clean their
washing my shoes all the
What?
time. Yeah, you got to do it.
I
Yeah.
will not.
Anyways,
No, you just
This is my most stubborn moment right
throw
here.
your hookers in every once in a while. and it'll
Listen,
be
my
good.
hookers aren't that stanky.
so I'm not. Still not my favorite situation. But what am I going to do? What about you guys?
Well, I mean, apropos of moving rooms around, in our a couple of houses ago, we in our master bedroom, primary bedroom. They don't call it master anymore. It's offensive. We were facing. We had the bed on the wall, facing the opposite wall, and we had these French doors on the side. That eventually we just realized, you know what? Why are we not facing it was so we could see the TV, which was in a weird spot anyway, but that seemed like the best, most logical spot. Then we realized, well, why are we facing the wall side when we could be facing these lovely, French doors that look out into the yard? And so we moved it, and we're like, oh, this is so much better, even though the TV was still on a weird angle. That's not about stubbornness or anything. That's just a little fact of what we lived through.
Okay.
I often wonder how many decisions does Ben weigh in on, because I know that Tracy's guiding most of the remodeling, most of the
Correct.
redecorating.
Well, she's got the eye for it. I mean,
Right.
she knows what she's doing. So.
Right. So, but like, do you
believe that,
come
or
in-
did she
I
tell you that?
No, I absolutely do believe it.
Okay.
I mean, I definitely no. There's no question. I have strong opinions about that. I like lighting. Lighting is something I like to weigh in on. I like to weigh in on some furniture.
But listen, you
Lighting's everything, man. Lighting is the shit.
I'm not saying it's not.
Like cool lighting is the
I
best.
just love that that's your thing, lighting.
Lighting, man. Yeah.
Look, when I say this, don't take it the wrong way. I believe I'm a stubborn person, but I think we all have learned how stubborn you are over the course of this show.
I just said it. I just said he's not flexible.
No. So there must be a lot of things to choose from for you.
As I see it, I haven't done anything stubborn.
What is your most stubborn? Well, not putting the powder in that glass. That was something stubborn.
I'm not fucking doing
You
that.
won't do it. You won't do
So
it.
what would you, in retrospect for you, is there something that you can actually be honest with yourself and say, you know what? I was really stubborn in that situation.
Yes.
Let's hear it.
It was in the early 90s.
Oh,
Oh my God.
since then, nothing.
It's been sitting with you. It's been sitting.
Well, no. This was sort of it was a stubborn thing, and I'm trying to get to the root of it now. I'm just sort of been thinking about it a lot lately. I was, excuse me, I was living on a kibbutz in Israel, and I know my family wanted me to come home, and this was after college, and I hadn't quite figured out what I wanted to be doing with life, and I knew that if I came home, I wasn't going to. I hadn't figured anything out yet. You know, like you graduate college, you think, all right, now your life sort of begins. And at that point, yes, I'd spent 4 years thinking about it, but I'd come to no good conclusions. I had no, it was like, oh, you're going to go to law school. And then, senior year, I decided, you know what, I don't want to go to law school. So what am I doing? And then when I was in Israel, it was like, okay, you've been gone for 2 months of traveling, backpacking. And then you lived in Israel for 5 months. When are you coming home? And it's like, I don't know. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then it wasn't until, I did finally come home that an opportunity presented itself. But it was, I didn't want to come back. I did not want to come home. I don't know. I had more of me to figure out, and I wasn't going to be able to do it at home. So I resisted coming home. That's pretty fucking stubborn.
It is stubborn. Can I ask something unrelated to that? Was there ever anything that anybody brought into your house that you were like, there's no effing way this is going to exist in our house?
Sure.
Okay, just curious.
Yeah.
I don't remember specifically, but I'm sure at some point in my life that there was a thing that was, we looked at and go, yeah, no.
Do you ever have a thing? We have this in our house where we'll come back from a trip and there will be suitcases that have now been emptied sitting downstairs. And the question is, who's going to be the person to actually put the suitcases away? Like,
the answer is me.
Is it you?
Me.
Is it always you?
I did it this morning.
Everybody thinks it's supposed to be me.
It is you.
I guess it is me.
We know it's you.
I guess it's me.
I'm a bit of a doer. Like if I see something sitting there, I'm just going to go do it. And I should make my kids do it to teach them, but I don't. I just do it myself. And so
there was a great classic Everybody Loves Raymond episode a long time ago where somebody came home. I think it was him. He came home and he left his suitcase on the stairs and thought that his wife would bring it upstairs, and nobody said anything, and it was sitting there. And eventually, like, Ray puts like a block of cheese in there because he hopes that the cheese will go bad and smell horrible and somebody will do something with it. And the whole episode is about this suitcase that nobody refuses to put away, even though it's smelling like with rotten cheese. That's not happened to me, but
by the way, funny story, just real quick on that. We were leaving for the airport, and I walked outside. I walked outside, and Kristen and Owen were like yelling at each other. And he wasn't yelling at her; she was yelling at him. And apparently, he left like a Muscle Milk in the bottom of the car, and it just stunk the car to hell. It was like she was like, "What is that smell?" And he's like, "Oh, I think I left the Muscle Milk underneath it."
all right. So what about you?
Yeah. What's your stubborn?
Mine. I was trying to think, and look, I don't have like one specific incident, but I will say the one thing that I think about quite often it's like the only thing that I'll push back on Kristen on. Kristen will come at me over a lot of stuff, and I will just give, and I'm like, yep, you're right, yep. But on driving, and I know this is so cliche, but on driving, everyone in my family thinks I'm a horrible driver.
Same.
I think I'm a fucking phenomenal driver. By the way, I have a buddy.
I as well.
I have a buddy.
I think we're all amazing drivers.
Yes.
I have a buddy who did like 10 years of driving school, like learned how to do like action driving and like how to like basically like, all that Fast and Furious shit. And he was like, "Hey, you're a really good driver." And I was like, why do you say that? He's like, "You're very proactive." Now what that means is I'm an aggressive driver. Right. But according to my wife, I'm a horrible driver.
What's bad about your driving? according to her.
I'm sure it's everything that's bad about
Do you
your
drive too
driving.
fast?
I don't drive. Well, I do drive too fast.
According to them.
According to them, and I probably do drive it a little bit too fast sometimes. I speed up when I don't need to speed up, when I need to slow down.
Sure. I did that the other day in front of Campbell
Yeah.
Hall. Tracy's like, what are you doing? Red light.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
Yep.
She's like, where are you looking?
Do you
I
get
follow-
grief? Oh, do you get grief over not signaling when you change lanes?
I don't signal sometimes, and I get grief. I follow too closely.
Oh, that's weird. Why would you do that?
By the way, I don't do it on. There's some people. You drive in L.A. There's some people that just ride your ass,
Sure.
right? I don't do that, but it's probably a combination of speeding up to someone's back when I should be slowing down because I see red lights, and it's a whole thing.
Do you get a lot of Kristen in the passenger seat with her hands outstretched, like whoa,
Or
whoa,
foot,
whoa,
or the brake, the invisible
red,
brake.
the lights. Well,
Yeah.
look at the lights.
or grabbing the handle, and I'm
Yeah.
like, dude,
Yeah.
what is like I am. But
But by the way, other than other people thinking you're a horrible driver, what's the stubborn component that you continue to drive the way you want?
I continue to drive the way I want, and I know that I'm a good driver, and
It's nice to know I'm not the only one.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, because Kristen was saying this the other day. She's like, if we wanted to like retire, like we talk about like, let's retire, and like, what are we gonna do when we retire? And she's like, I'm like, I love like driving cross country, and she's like, we could never fucking do that because we'd kill each other, and there's no way that's gonna happen. And I'm like, again, I'm a phenomenal driver, so I don't know what the big deal is. So anyway, that's it. That's the one sort of thing that I refuse to give on. So
See, in my household, it becomes a very gaslighting kind of thing where people will be like, "I just need you to know." This is like my children, or Jen will say it. You just need to know that the girls said they're very uncomfortable with your driving, and it's like, what the hell am I supposed to do with that? Like you just need to be aware. You need to be respectful of the fact that they think you drive too fast, and it's like, I don't drive too fast.
by the way, I've driven with you. You don't drive too
I'm a
fast.
perfectly fine driver,
And you don't either. Yeah, I think I don't know.
I think they're
get that.
crazy.
By the way, I was chasing Owen the other day. I was driving behind Owen. That fucker drives too fast. I called him while he was driving. And I was like, dude, I'm behind you. Slow down. Like, I know you're an idiot when I'm not with you, but don't be an idiot when I'm watching you.
Okay, so let's now answer the question: the most ridiculous thing that you find that you're stubborn about. Like, for example, use the fridge as an example. Like, or food in your house. Like, are you super anal and inflexible when it comes to how do people seal the chip bags? Or did somebody leave a milk container in the fridge with basically nothing in it? Or the remote on the TV? Like, is there anything like that? Just curious. I'm just rattling off the things that
For
I'm
me, it's just
stubborn about.
It's the dishwasher loading. I mean, that's
Oh,
really-
my God.
Yeah,
there
that's
it
right.
is.
I mean,
that is
that's
it.
It's just like there's clearly a way to do it. You've seen how it's done. Why wouldn't you do it?
And I forget, was it up or down?
Well, I mean,
The silverware.
Oh, silverware's down.
That doesn't make sense.
By the way,
Again, we've been over this.
I told Kristen that story, and she goes, I've always liked Ben.
It's just honestly, it's like it's silly. My dad, when I was a kid, used to grow up. Anytime there was youthful rebellion, which for me was really not that rebellious. His response was, "There's a fitness of things." Right? That was his attitude. There's a fitness of things.
Wait, this
And-
is a phrase?
yeah.
Is it a real phrase?
They're words that are strung together that make a logical sense.
There is a fitness of things?
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
That means
Is that cough it up?
Is
Is that like an artisanal...
Cough it easy? You mean?
Cough it easy?
Is
No,
it-
the fitness of things means there's a way things are supposed to be, meant to be.
I
right?
wonder about the origin of that.
Well, we'll
Okay.
figure it out.
Yeah, we will.
But anyway, so that this is the one thing that I'm like, there's a fitness of things, and it's just the Tetris of it all, right? Like if you're gonna the spatial relations of these objects to this space, it is designed in such a way that if you do it this way, you can maximize your output. And the dishwasher's full. No, it's not, because everything's in the wrong spot. And then you put it in the right spot. You're like, oh, look at all this space.
I think your dad was basically saying, don't be a dumbass. Like,
Yeah.
just
Well,
do
yeah.
things the right way.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
You know?
he used to also say straighten up and fly right.
Yeah,
Which I
that's a
was
good
like,
one.
Can I make
But that
one-
has that's like a weighted thing. That has a whole lot of layers to it.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
The whole focus, as you just explained, with the Tetris of
Dishwasher.
the dishwasher is to make use of the space as best you can.
Right. It's like that meme, in every relationship, there's one person in the house who is is like a Swedish architect, and the other one who's like a feral raccoon.
Right.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. When you put silverware up, you're able to use more because you're only using the small, narrow parts of all the silverware, so you can put more in. If you're putting them down, the wide parts of the forks and the spoon, so you actually can get more room and more silverware in if you do it my way.
I get it, but I'm not going to risk cutting my hand open on the fork prong or a knife.
What about compromising? What about doing the knife down and the spoons up?
I could do that too.
Oh my god!
I mean, there's a variety of ways.
There are a variety of ways, and by the way, it's up to everyone's individual choice.
No,
but by the way, really quick, sorry, Mitch. The really sharp knives are the big butcher block knives, which you put on the slide out flat thing, right?
No.
But by the way, both of you were talking about the butcher block knives the other day. You shouldn't put butcher block knives in the dishwasher.
No,
because they've got wooden handles. Don't put wooden handles in the dishwasher.
Mine don't have wooden handles.
They're not like real wood.
Yeah, see,
plastic.
Now your argument's falling apart a little bit.
It's not
all butcher blocks should stay outside of it. You wash those.
Okay, so then what are you putting in
the thing. If it's got a serrated edge, you got to put it somewhere where it's not going to cut your finger.
Okay, so that's where you're putting all the really sharp knives.
Or I'll put them face down.
But then other knives are those butter knives that are rounded at the end. That's still silverware knife.
Still cut you.
By the way,
that's not going to cut you.
Butter? I'm like, why do I have butter knives?
Well, they're not butter knives.
Never
for
used
spreading.
a butter knife.
What, you don't spread with them?
Are any of you, Mitch? Are
that's
any
just
of your
a steak.
knives? Are any of your knives that your everyday knives sharp?
Dude, I've got 4 knives.
Do you sharpen your knives?
No, I don't. Well, occasionally, but I've got 4 knives that I use for everything.
All right.
Yeah, one for stabbing, one for
one for slicing.
Yeah, I don't use a butter knife ever.
All right, let me ask you.
I
Ever.
fucking hate a butter knife.
Oh, wow.
I do.
Wow.
Those are shorter, right?
By the way, I want to apologize to the audience. I've been cursing a little bit more than normal.
I noticed
Really?
this.
Yeah,
This is
but
jet lag.
I
you
just
know
jet
what?
lag. I'm just tired, dude.
It's funny though. I was listening to one of our previous episodes when we were listening to the songs, and you have this. Ben listens to it first, and Ben's like, "I hate it," and then you were like, "That's pretty fucking catchy." I must have listened to that line 23 times. I mean, it was so amusing to me for some reason.
I remember that one. It was a catchy
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Do you have on your ice machine makers in your fridges do you have to turn off and on the ice creation mechanism when you've reached? Like, but does it automatically know when you have too much ice and then it'll stop making it?
You know, that's a good question because we just got a new refrigerator that has a drawer, which is really cool.
That's what we have, is a drawer.
Yeah, we've never had that. We've
A
always
drawer
had,
where the ice goes into.
Yeah, we've always had a dispenser that on the outside. This is on the inside.
Oh, I've always had the drawer.
To the point where part of the reason why we redid our kitchen is because we hated the refrigerator we had. It was too small, and we were like, we know we're going to want to change the space. We want a bigger refrigerator, which it was a whole domino effect that led to an entire kitchen remodel as opposed to just replacing the refrigerator. But one of the things that happened to me like a week or so before the refrigerator was supposed to go in, I had a panic attack. I was like, fuck, wait, where's the ice maker in this thing? And so I had to go back to the appliance store for another reason. I was like, can you just confirm that there's an ice maker in this?
Oh my god,
It was a moment of absolute panic.
Guys looking at you like, are you serious? Are you fucking asking me that?
But it's the drawer, right? And we've never had the drawer, and it's really cool. And so we don't know if it's the kind of thing that like we better shut it off or else it's going to overflow,
right? Because
we've never let it get to that moment.
Oh yeah, no, we have. But my thing is like everybody should be a part of turning off the ice when it reaches that point.
Oh, okay.
Nobody does
There are
that.
moments on this podcast where I realize how old we are, and this is one of them.
This
right
is
here.
not old.
This is
anything.
old.
This is like young and sexy.
Oh, okay. Okay.
This is
Fridge
this
talk?
is
Are you
something-
kidding?
Fridge talk.
Easy there, fridge pig.
Ice shelves.
I'm
It's
telling
a
you,
drawer. It's a drawer.
there is no aged demo anything for ice in a fridge.
By the way, I went
Right?
to.
It's timeless. It's
I-
ageless.
I,
It's
uh,
ageless.
I went to Lori and Ian's new place, which I
Yeah,
know you have
it's
as well. And he
Name
showed
check.
Me, but he showed me the ice maker. Did you see that?
No, I don't know.
Dude, he's got a Pebble ice machine.
Oh yes, no, I did see that.
I was like, oh my
Yeah, yeah.
god.
Why do we like Pebbles? Starbucks just changed their ice to Pebbles.
But Pebble ice is the best ice on the planet.
We can't have that. With
I
our
don't like
fridge.
that at all.
You don't?
Because here's the thing: when I would get these drinks that I say that we talked about on a previous episode, the dragon fruit
Yeah.
lemonades,
Yep.
the crunchy pieces of dragon fruit. So I finished the drink, and then I've got the ice and the dragon fruit. But the problem is I don't want to crunch ice because that ruins your teeth. I just want to eat the dragon fruit. So it was really easy for me to, with my mouth, separate the ice cubes and the dragon fruit because they're different sizes. But now the Pebble ice is about the same diameter as the dragon fruit. So now I get a whole full
I
mouth
don't-
of both stuff, and I don't like
know.
it at all.
I think the line I said to him when I saw him was, "Now you know you've made it."
By having
You've got
Pebble
a
Ice.
Pebble Ice machine in your house.
I
You've
mean,
made it.
I love like with a good corned beef sandwich, like a drink on Pebble Ice. Oh, that's
Oh
good.
yeah.
I don't know.
What?
I'm not a fan.
With club soda, by the way.
Because then you're drinking it, you gets it all in your mouth at the same time. You're like, it's so small that you can't just get liquid anymore. Now every mouthful is like, unless you're using a straw. But then you've got a whole mouthful of Pebble Ice and liquid when you'd rather just not have that be the case. Because if you have bigger pieces of ice, when you drink and you just purse your mouth slightly, you can get the drink and the ice won't pass your lips. But with Pebble Ice, they're so small that they'll enter your mouth at the same time as the liquid.
By the way,
It's true.
the refrigerator
It's
drawer.
It's true.
That's. No, just real good. I stopped listening to you, and I was just looking at you, and I was like, "What is he talking about?" For like 7 seconds. It was an out of body experience. I was like, "What in the hell is he talking about right now?"
But I love that you've actually paid the attention to the flow
Yes.
of ice and water and
Oh
Pebble
my
Ice. and all
god,
that.
that was so
Anyway.
good.
It's amazing.
All right. Well, so does anybody have
By the way, this
anything?
is lost on the youth. I really believe
don't
that
think
this,
it
is.
this is a topic that is
What?
lost on the youth.
Stubbornness?
No, Pebble Ice.
No, I don't think so.
I
I
don't
think the
think
kids.
so either.
I think the kids get it.
You think?
I think they do.
Gen Z, you get this? I hope so.
I think they do.
I think they do.
Whatever. They have Gen Alpha. What-
By the way, one of
knows
my
Pebble Ice.
daughters the other day was like, "Starbucks moved to Pebble Ice. This is amazing."
Oh, so she's in.
Yeah.
All right.
They're
Yeah.
aware. They're aware.
There's hope for the future.
Yes, we have to hope for the future.
What gen are we on, by the way? Is Z over now? It's Alpha. Like has there been a turnover?
Alpha Z. What Alpha generation?
Right? Isn't there a new gen?
I don't know.
What are we? Gen X?
Yeah.
We're Gen X, right? We're not boomers.
No.
So
That's
what does
Gen
it go?
X.
It goes Boomer, Gen X, Gen Y.
Well, millennials.
Where's Millennial?
They are post us.
But where's Y?
Wait, millennials are post us?
Yeah.
I thought they were one below the post us.
So it goes Gen X, and the next younger generation is Y.
I thought it was Y/millennial,
Okay, and then what?
and then
This is what
Z.
makes us sound
This-
old.
No,
this
then
is
Z.
yeah.
Pebble Ice
Yep.
not ever makes us sound old.
or ice drawers.
I don't know what they're doing.
Macy's. I mean, I could find out. I don't know what she considers herself. But they also fight that sort of tag that we put on them.
Right. None of these kids want to have any labels.
No labels.
No pronouns,
Yeah.
no labels, none of that
They'll
stuff.
they'll have all of those things eventually,
So
whether they like it or not.
So we're Gen X.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'm he, him, X. That's what I am.
Cool.
He, him, X. All right.
Alright.
What are you?
I guess I'm he, him, X.
You're he, him, X?
That's a
You're not they, X?
they X.
I don't know. Some he, hims would prefer to be they.
No, I think I'm he, him, X.
And Ben, what are you?
Same.
Yeah.
It's a perfect place to end the episode, I think.
I mean, this one's been a doozy. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, by the way, shout out to those who identify with other pronouns.
That's right.
Yeah.
You be you. You
Yeah.
are you. Be it. Do it. It's
That's the good.
I like I've never seen the X or the generation description added to that.
It hasn't. I just
That's
did it
good.
for the
no,
first
I know.
time.
That's what I'm saying. That's good. I like that.
What?
I just
like
invented
the
that.
The X of the millennial, like
Yeah.
you could do it.
I don't know that anybody cares. I don't know that anybody it's important for somebody to know your X or Y versus he, him, she, her, they.
He,
those
him.
are two separate issues.
He, him, Gen
No,
Z.
I know. I just put them together.
Could do that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we are rapidly approaching. Next week is going to be, I think this is probably news for everybody, is going to be our finale.
Season finale.
Season finale next week. We're going to talk more about it, but we'll talk more about it next week. But don't miss next week's episode because you are in for, give me some adjectives.
Magic. That's a noun.
A magical,
Magical.
fantastic, engaging,
Mind-blowing.
mind-blowing. Mitch, we need one from the jet lag. Give us one adjective for next week.
This is the penultimate episode. right?
Penultimate.
Correct.
Which
This is
by
the
Correct. That is
penultimate.
correct
by the
use
way-
of penultimate.
Which,
Yeah.
by the way, I just learned I've been using that incorrectly my entire life.
Yes.
I thought it was ultimate, but it's the second to ultimate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Didn't we talk about this?
Did we talk about it on the show?
No, we talked about de minimis.
No, we talked.
Did we talk about penultimate? I don't know if it was just in a conversation.
Oh, was that? We didn't record it.
We may have not recorded it.
Damn it!
I know.
That's a real missed opportunity.
I know. Maybe it's in a bowl.
Okay.
What do you got?
Did you
Number
spill-
5.
Number your fifth cup of coffee?
You betcha.
Oh, Jesus
Oh
Christ.
my gosh. It's time to go. Ben, do your job.
If you listen to us, which you're hearing this means you do,
You're doing it right now.
share it with your friends. We want as many of you out there, you and your friends and their friends and their friends and whoever else,
And
even
so
their
on.
enemies. Even their enemies. Let their enemies listen to us. That's fine.
And they'll tell 2 friends, and they'll tell 2 friends, and so on.
It'll be
and
like
so on.
it'll be a shampoo commercial.
Be like Selsun Blue, which I don't think
Is
exists
that Selsun
anymore.
Blue? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'd like to do in season 2?
Yeah.
I'd like to get some audience suggestions for topics. I know we've talked about it.
Yeah. Well, it's in our metadata.
Yeah.
You can email us at
So that's the data.
wadacast@gmail.com.
Metadata is the data about the data.
The data, it is the data.
It's very meta.
It's very,
Super
it's
meta.
it's valuable data. All right, it's Paul,
It's Ben.
It's Mitch.
and that's what we're talking about.